Welcome to Todd Talk. Today I want to talk about baths.
Todd Talk is brought to you by Billy's Bath Mats. Did you wash your feet?
Last weekend I went to something kind of unusual at the convention center that was the Oddities and Curiosities Expo. It was a massive collection of vendors that had all kinds of really interesting and weird and creepy things. And if you know anything about me, I like weird and interesting and creepy things. There was a lot of taxidermy. There was a lot of art, a lot of kind of witchy and gothy things, candles and tarot cards and all that kind of fun stuff. When I arrived at the convention center, I went in the entrance and it said event this way. And I start following this group of people, and everybody moving in this direction was all kind of clad in black and, that sort of thing. And then the same day they were doing signups for the Portland Marathon. And so everybody walking in this direction was all Dayglow and Nike gear. I spent a couple hours there just poking around and looking at all the weird stuff. I did buy a couple of things. I bought a t-shirt that was made by an artist, and then I bought some soap. The soap is handmade by this couple, and they come in all kinds of weird smells and scents. I bought 3 bars of their soap, and they smell so good that just having the soap in the bathroom makes the whole bathroom smell like it. It's really, really great. They're called Farmer's Soapery. No sponsor or anything. Smells really good. There's one that's just patchouli, one that's called Witch's Brew. And this smell, man, I wish I could place where I've smelled this smell. It reminds me of something from my childhood. I don't know if it's a cereal or a candy. Really sweet. I don't know. It's really driving me crazy. And then one called Summer Moon that's a little more traditional soapy smell. They have lots and lots of different scents and smells. Some of them have pretty straight ahead names. Some of them have really funny and bizarre names. Like one of them was called Smoke and Arrogance. Anyway, I'll leave a link in the description so you can check them out. There's other soaps that I have checked out. Dr. Squatch is a popular internet brand, and they make all kinds of fun soaps that are kind of tied in with a lot of different properties like Marvel and Star Wars and things like that. If you know who John and Hank Green are, those brothers created a line of soaps that you can buy or subscribe to, and 100% of the proceeds go to charity. What's fun about their subscription is they do coffee and tea and socks and soap. And so if you get too much soap, you can just switch the subscription, and they really pride themselves on the ability to just go on the internet and hit a cancel button if you don't need anything. They're really cool guys, so I'll leave a link in the description for them as well. And I use the soap every day, that sort of thing, but I also like to take baths sometimes. Baths? And this all started during the pandemic. There was a point in time where my work closed down, sent us home, and we did a little bit of work from home, and you just had all of this time in the world to do whatever you wanted to do. One thing I did during that time is I started a YouTube channel. And I also started taking baths, not to necessarily do my cleaning for the day, but just to relax. I found that just sitting in some hot water with a candle in the dark, maybe make yourself a drink, is really nice and relaxing. Partially just because it's nice to be warm and to sit and relax, but also because you are in the tub and you can't really go do something else. You're kind of planted. You are doing this. And it's so easy in our day and age to be distracted by a million things. And so just kind of settling in and relaxing intentionally is kind of a nice thing. My bathtub is nothing fancy. It's not giant. It's not super deep or anything, but really any bathtub will do. Candles are optional, but they're kind of nice because it kind of brings the light down and makes it a relaxing environment. I just use little candles that you can get at Yankee Candle, or sometimes you can find them on sale, things like that. They have a nice smell, and they put out just a little bit of a light. And then as far as what to drink, if it's cold outside, make yourself some tea. If it's warm outside, have a beer, or anything in between. I also have a little Bluetooth speaker in my bathroom where I can kind of stream some music and just kind of sit and relax. Because you're just sitting in the water for a while, it's kind of fun to experiment with different things like soaps or bath bombs. I'd never ever used a bath bomb in my entire life, and I did a little bit of research online, and Lush Cosmetics is really popular as far as bath bombs, and they have tons and tons of them. A lot of them are just these little round balls of minerals, and you drop it in the water and it gets all fizzy and foamy and bubbly and turns the water different colors or smells really good, different things like that. Some of the ones that Lush does are very fancy, and they'll do multicolor or different things like that. Lots and lots of options. A month or so ago, they did a team up with Minecraft, and they actually made some Minecraft bath bombs. I bought two things. One is just a little bath bomb that looked like the dirt block from Minecraft. When you dropped it in the water, it sort of turned the water mud colored. It was a, kind of earthy brown, and it had a similar smell. It was very earthy and kind of, musky, that kind of thing. It was nice. Also bought something called a bubble bar. Now with a bath bomb, you just take it, you drop it in the water, it fizzes, it does its thing, and that's that. But a bubble bar, you run it under the water as you're filling the tub, and it kind of turns it into a bubble bath. But it's really, really hard material, and it doesn't just dissolve immediately. You can use it over and over and over. The Minecraft themed bubble bar was a diamond pickaxe because, there's a lot of durability there. And it sort of turned the water that diamond blue color, and there was nice bubbles, and it smelled pretty good too. Now, the only problem with Lush is they're kind of expensive. Some of the bath bombs can be $5-6 each, and every time you take a bath, you're basically spending $5 to take that bath. And what's interesting, as it turns out, is bath bombs are not super hard to make. Now, I will say the ones that Lush makes are exquisite, and they work really well, and they smell really great, and some of them are really fun, but you can make your own. And last month, I did that. I decided I was going to find a recipe, get some ingredients, make a bath bomb. The ingredients are all pretty common stuff that you would find like in the baking aisle. For example, baking soda, citric acid, cornstarch, stuff like that. You also want to put some food coloring in it if you want your bath to turn a color. And if you want it to smell nice, you also want to put some sort of fragrance in there. Now, the recipe I used also called for Epsom salts. And the Epsom salts I bought were fragranced. And so that mixed with a little bit of essential oil made it smell real nice. I didn't have any bath bomb molds, and so I just used a measuring cup. Just sort of packed it in there, leveled it out. Now here's the tricky thing. This citric acid and cornstarch and baking soda and Epsom salt and all that, if you put water in there, it starts to bubble and foam and react like it would in the bath, which is water. But if you don't put water in there, the stuff is not going to stick together. It's just like sand. And so you have to put exactly enough water that it will pack together, but not enough that it starts to react. Now, my first batch, I made a bath bomb. And when I was packing it together, it just felt so dry, like it was not going to hang together. So I added some more liquid, and pretty soon I was like, okay, this feels okay. I put it in the measuring cup, and I set it aside. And over the next couple of hours, it started to expand. Very, very slowly, it was reacting. And it was sort of like rising like bread. It ended up kind of looking like a muffin. It took a few days for it to dry out, and it eventually got rock hard. And, it worked. I put it in the tub, and it fizzed, smelled great and all that, but it was kind of ugly looking. Second one I made, I used less liquid, and I just trusted that if I pack it in here and I'm very careful, it'll hang together. And sure enough, it did. It was much more the shape that I intended it to be. It wasn't all sticky and tacky for hours or days because it was so wet. Dried pretty quick. I haven't mastered when you add the food coloring yet, and so this green one kind of had speckles where the food coloring sort of clumped up. But again, when you dropped it in the tub, fizzed, it smelled good, it turned the water a color, so it did the job. When you buy these materials like cornstarch and citric acid, they come in fairly large bags, and so I do have the materials to make many more and perfect the recipe. So anyway, that's my thoughts on baths. If you get some free time and you just want to kind of chill and center and be mindful, I highly, highly recommend.